So what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the JebMan316 Custom YouTube channel. I'm your host, JebMan316, your pop culture reporter. And welcome back to what's going to be a unique and different video, one that I've never done before. But hey, in honor of Friday the 13th, I want you and I to check out all of the Friday the 13th original VHS tapes, and we're going to rank the quality of the cover art. I thought it would be kind of cool. Instead of ranking posters, and you can see my reflection, I've got VHS protector cases on each one of these, so you might see my reflection moving around in the background. So either way, I've got them all stacked up here. We're going to closely look at these. I'm going to run through them all, and then I'm going to give you my ranking of what I think as far as the best cover art is on them. Before we do all that, like the video or dislike it. It really doesn't matter. I really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me, so any comment or feedback is much appreciated. Then after you do that, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then after you subscribe, make sure you always hit that notification bell, because you'll be the first to know when I post new videos. So let's get into, can you see what I'm doing in the background? So let's get into the ranking of the Friday the 13th original VHS covers. Can I get that to stand up? So let's rank these covers. Let's go. So what's up, Friday 13th fans? We're going to, in honor of Friday 13th, I'm going to go through the cover art of each of the original VHS tapes, and we're going to take a look at these together, and then I'm going to rank them from worst to best. And you can join in with me, and we can have some fun with this and talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and take the mask away, and we'll just look at each one so you guys can see the actual cover art. I'll set those up, and I'll go ahead and move the camera down a little bit. So there's your first one. There's the original cover art of the original Friday the 13th movie. Pretty iconic poster. Everybody's familiar with that. You got the silhouette of a killer holding a knife, dripping blood, with the the camp counselors that are going to be there. Pretty iconic, like I said. We're not going to go through and rank the back covers, but I thought it'd be neat, since I was doing this, I'll go ahead and show them to you. So there's part one. So here's part two. So this one, to me, it's got the similar silhouette, no picture in the background. That's a sticker that's on the case that I haven't tried to take off, so don't worry about that. But it does have an axe this time that's dripping blood. And then here's the back cover with some of the iconic moments from the film, just when you thought it was safe to go back to camp. So that's number two. Here's Friday the 13th part 3. It's got the shower curtain, and obviously this is in 3D originally, so it's got the knife coming through the curtain. And then there's some of your iconic scenes, and no, there's no nudity on the back. Obviously they couldn't have nudity in the stinking original VHS. Let's see what we can do here. Let's do this, and then prop up number 4. There you go. You can maybe get a reflection of me or my. There's a better view of it. There's number 4. It's got the iconic Friday the 13th Jason mask. Man, the reflection is terrible. There you go. Look at that. With the notch cut out from the axe at the top. You got a knife going through his eye hole there, and you got blood all around it. And obviously that's false advertising saying it's the final chapter, but there's your back cover. So that's part 4. Here's part 5. Pretty iconic with that white mask with the red light shining through it of the new beginning. And then here's the back cover. There's old Roy boy. Here's number 6. The silhouette of the mask with the moonlight shining through it with the Jason Lives tombstone on it. There's your back cover with old Tommy Jarvis getting pulled under the water by Jason trying to save him. So let me get my hand off of there and you guys can see it. There you go. Here's number 7. Part 7, and watch out for my reaction to the fan film Roseblood Part 2 coming out today as well. That's Part 7. It's got Tina on one side of the knife, got Jason on the other, got the blood. That's the new blood. And then there's them, Tina and Nick with Jason. Here's Part 8. I wonder what I would have chosen if they had used the original artwork, which is the I Love New York with Jason ripping through the poster, but that's still kind of iconic right there. That's him coming through the window on the ship. Here's Part 9, like the silver mask or whatever you want to call that, metallic with the worm, snake creature, devil creature, whatever the hell you want to call that thing. This is the unrated director's cut, but the covers are so similar. Here's the back cover, Jason before he gets exploded. Here's Part 10, Jason X, the hockey mask on one side, Uber Jason or whatever you want to call him on the other, with a knife and a victim shining in it. And there's the back cover. Back cover is pretty poor on that one. And then here's your last one. I'm going to go ahead and include Freddy vs. Jason. A lot of people say this is a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but it's got Jason on the cover, so we're going to include it. And there's the back cover. It's got more Freddy than it does Jason, but either way. So let's go ahead and rank these. I'm going to come back in a second because I'm going to put these in order of what I want them to be, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to rank these of covers of what I think there are from worst to first. Here's your first one, Friday the 13th Part 2, if I can get the shit to stand up. Friday the 13th Part 2. To me, that cover is like the plainest piece of crap that they could have done. They basically stole the silhouette from the first poster. All they changed was the axe. They didn't put any detail in the silhouette, and then they just put a Part 2 on the Friday the 13th. I think that's about as cheap and cheesy as you could have got for a cover. It's garbage. I don't like it. I wish they had done something different. So that's your worst cover of the bunch, if you ask me. So let's put this over to the side. And here's your next one. I'm putting Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, as the next one. It's a mess. It isn't even one in the damn movie. It looks like crap. It's got a red light shining through it. It's basically the generic most hockey mask you could get, and it means nothing. I just think I hate it. It's plain. So those two obviously are the worst. I hope you think the same. Now the rest of these, some of it's just personal preference, and some of it is because I like the artwork itself. But my next movie is going to be, as far as worst, is going to be the cover of Jason Goes to Hell. And I'm just going to tell you one of the reasons that I say that is because it's stupid. Once again, it's a mask that has nothing to do with the movie, and that creature that's in there, the demon or whatever that travels around turning people into versions of Jason, is the dumbest idea I've ever had. It isn't really a Friday the 13th movie. I guess that's why they don't call it that. It's Jason Goes to Hell. I just don't like the movie. It's got good parts in it, but I don't like the movie overall. Obviously, at least it tells you that it's not a standard Friday the 13th movie having something like that on it, but I just don't like the cover at all. I mean, the creature is silly, and having to see it right there out in the open takes away from the movie even more. So the next one is going to be the original Friday the 13th. And I'll go ahead and just tell you the reason that I'm putting that in there is it's kind of plain. There's some good detail. The artwork is nice, but I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't give you a sense of dread. It doesn't tell you anything about what they're going through. You got the silhouette of the killer there, but obviously it's not even Jason in it. It's his mother. So maybe that's one of the reasons that, in the back of my mind, I can't get that, out of my consciousness. But either way, it's nothing really creative about it, other than the painting is nice. I mean, if Bob Ross did those trees and did the little taps on there, I guess, it's an awesome painting, but it's just a boring poster, I guess is a good way to put it. So the Bob Ross version of Friday the 13th is out of the picture. So the next one is going to be Friday the 13th Part 3. That movie poster is decent. There's nothing great about it. being in 3D, you know, they tried to go with that effect. I don't like the silhouette. It's not representative of Jason or anybody that's in the film. I don't know. It's got one scene in it where the girl's in the shower, and he doesn't even kill her in the shower. So it's almost like it's false advertising. And then they're trying to give you that effect with the 3D knife coming out of there. So no, thank you. That's kind of like a boring poster too. Now I will tell you this: after this next one, it's hit or miss. I think the rest of them has some really good creative artwork to them. So my next choice is going to be Freddy versus Jason, and the case won't stay standing up, but it's a good view of Freddy and going after Jason with the knife crossing over into his knife glove. The Freddy versus Jason logo is really boring. I don't know what else they could have done with that, but I think the marketing of that film could have been better. To me, like I said, to have two iconic characters like this, it's cool to have them on the cover, which is why it ranks higher than the rest, but it's a really boring concept between the two. So I think they could have done so much more, and it was a wasted opportunity. So my next one is Jason X. Now, part of the reason that this one isn't higher is I'm not as big of a fan of the movie. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hater on it like a lot of people are just because he goes into space and it's in the future. I like the fact that the Uber Jason, or whatever you want to call him, is on there. I think the knife is a little too big. Maybe they could have come up with some other kind of concept there. I understand, he used one similar in the movie. So I do like the fact that they've got the reflection of the girl in there. It is pretty creative. You do get to see both sides of Jason. Like I said, I'm thinking maybe some of my dislike of the film is tainting this one a little bit. But I don't hate it as much as other people do. But that mask, the actual Jason mask, to me, is part of the thing that ruins it. Because I don't think it was a really good mask in the movie, and I don't think it's a really good representation on the cover. So it's like this part of it I like, and this part of it I don't. So with that being said, that's why I didn't rank any higher. Now here's my next favorite one. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I personally like the concept of Jason with the mask, and it's a really good version of the mask. And he's got his hands coming over the buildings there, and then you see the knife. I really think that's a good representation of Jason. I'm not going to talk about the movie because we all know that he doesn't go to Manhattan very often. In the movie, that it's only the last 15-20 minutes. But either way, I wish it could have been the I Heart New York poster, which I might throw up a picture of that here real quick so you can see that. If that was on there, that would be my number one. So obviously that drags it down a little bit, but I do like how they got a little creative once their marketing campaign went south and they came up with this. And I think this ranks a little higher on my list because the next few were iconic to me and were the ones that were on the video shelf all the time and I saw in the store. So maybe I've got a little, love for them because of that. You probably are going to hate me because of this one. This is probably number one on a lot of people's list, but I think it's a teeny bit boring, but I like the concept. You've got the Jason mask with the cut in it, and isn't that cut on the wrong side, the slice? Shouldn't it be on that side? So that's one thing, it takes it down a little bit for me. The knife through the eye, that never happened, and I know maybe they're just playing off the fact that this is supposed to be the final chapter, but I do like the fact that they laid it down in the puddle of blood and they gave it, but it could have been a little more creative. I like the concept. It's pretty iconic is another reason that it ranks higher than some of the rest of them. So, I guess this one they were going for the less is more concept, but I just think the iconicness, is that a word, of this one makes it rank above the other ones. So you're probably not going to like me for these last two, but I'll explain why on some of this. This one, Friday the 13th Part 6 was the very first Friday the 13th movie I saw in theaters, and I saw all the rest of them after that. So it's got a little place in my heart for that. I really think this is a true iconic poster. You got the silhouette of the mask behind the, the graveyard fence, and you got the Jason Lives tombstone there. I just think this one is one of the most iconic ones, so it's got to be ranked high up there. And so my number one by subtraction, you probably already know which one it is, and you're probably going to hate me for this, but it's Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. and I'll tell you why. I just think it's pretty iconic. It's got the classic mask. It's the first one that did the split concept like that. That's got Tina on the other side. It's got the blood dripping from it. I love the logo. I love the new blood concept. It was one of my favorite movies. The ending was total shit. I know that. But other than that, leading up to it, I think it's one of the best movies. And this poster art, I remember seeing it in the lobby and my eyes lit up as soon as I saw it. So it's got a place in my heart for that. I love it. I think it's pretty iconic, and I'll give you another reason why I like it if you give me 1 second. This is a picture that I drew in art class when I was in school. It was after the movie came out, and I did it, and nobody, it's not finished. I never finished it. It was more like a simplistic version of it. And I was just focusing on the knife at first and the lips and then the New Blood logo, and then I never went back and finished all the highlights. And now that it's been like 30 some years, I didn't want to go back and finish it and screw it up. But it was one of the first things that I ever drew, and I thought the simple, less is more concept made this a lot better. You kind of just get pieces of the two characters, but I love the knife. I thought I did a really good job drawing that knife. So, I haven't shared that with anybody. Might share some more of the artwork I drew over the years. Like I said, I was really young when I did that, and I haven't wanted to go back. So like I said, I may go back and revisit that and draw it again later in life, and maybe I can improve upon it. So that was just one of the first things I ever drew in art class. So do me a favor, like this video or dislike it. Thumbs up or thumb down, whatever way. Any support you guys give me, I really will appreciate it. And then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then leave any comments below. Let me know what your ranking is of your favorite cover, and what did I screw up and what did I get right. And then after you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, and you'll be the first to know when I post new videos. So I really appreciate you coming by, and a happy Friday the 13th, everybody. And this is JeffMan316, your pop culture reporter, signing out, saying you guys be safe out there.